Friends, welcome back to the Sawmill. It's Monday and we have got a lot to do this week, guys. There's a lot of stuff going on. I ordered metal today for the barn. It may be here Wednesday. I got trusses to finish up. We got 4 more trusses to put on the barn. We'll be ready for metal. I need to saw some 1x6s right here for runners for the metal to attach to. 2x4s. I got to finish up that Osage. There's a lot going on, guys, and I also need to go here to the concrete pad and do some finishing touches on it while we got good weather. It's actually nice today. It's about, gosh, probably the mid-50s here today. It's been wet for the past month. I'm really happy right now because we've got some decent weather. It's just been terrible since Christmas. Snow and rain, just non-stop. Really aggravating for getting anything done. Real briefly, I want to talk about this table, because I got a lot of comments on the last video. People were saying that table's okay, but my goodness, you need some rollers on it. Well, rollers on this table is a terrible idea. Let me explain. Let me put a board up here for an example. So this table is not a transfer table. A table with rollers on it, most of the time is used to transfer boards, material, whatever, from one place to another. This table really has one purpose of a landing zone for the lumber. From this spot right here, it's not going to go to another roller table or nothing like that. It's going to get picked up and either stacked on a pallet, put on the tractor forks or something like that. It's not going to be moved, you know, to a different area. You got to pick it up off that table. So Wood-Mizer actually has a table on their website with rollers on it. I think it has 4 rollers on both ends and maybe 2 or 3 spaced out in the middle. And a lot of guys have used that table in the past, and almost every sawyer that I talked to had the same problem with that table. The last guy I talked to about it, Robert, he told me his table was out in the pasture field. He built his own. He didn't even use it anymore because of this problem. So like I was saying, this is not a transfer table, it's just a landing zone, and it's not on the same plane as lumber right here coming off the mill. So here's an example. Here's a piece of pine, it gets pulled back, and here's what happens when I pull it back to me with the drag back arm. So the board's coming back to me, it starts to tilt off the timber, hits this ramp right here. And from that point right there, the board is also at an angle. You can see it's coming down, down into this thing right here. If this was on the same plane as the timber, rollers would be okay. You just slide it right on, but it's not. It's coming at an angle, so boards are coming back, and you can see that angle right there. You know, that's probably, gosh, I don't know. Well, it depends on how thick your timber is. It could be way up here, if it's a big log, or start getting down here when you start working your way through the timber. So as it comes back, you just want something smooth for it to slide on. This right here is powder coated. You can put wax on it to make it even smoother. That's not really necessary. This is really smooth right here. You know, the boards don't get caught up at all. And that's what you want. That way the boards can come on here and land and just slide right on it. Now here's the problem with the rollers. You got a roller right here throughout the whole entire table. It's coming in at an angle. When it hits that roller, it's going to jump up in the air like that. And that's not by me exaggerating that. That's by the many sawyers that I talked to who tried putting roller tables at the back of the sawmill like this, specifically a Wood-Mizer with a drag back feature. When it hit those rollers, it would crash into them and knock them up in the air. Some guys even lowered the rollers below this table right here, and that created a little bit of a lip on both sides of the roller, and the board would get stuck on there as well. So that's why we went with just a flat table. This is very similar to the table that goes on the end of an LT70, which is Wood-Mizer's most productive sawmill. It's the largest portable sawmill that they make. It has the same kind of table at the rear of it because that's what works best for production right there, guys. It's just a flat table. You don't need any rollers. You know, you don't want these boards jumping up in the air. And I've seen it happen. They'll come into here and they'll crash, go up in the air on you. I love it so far. I've sawed up several pine logs with the, with the camera not running, and it works perfectly. It's what was missing with this sawmill. It was like biscuits and gravy. I had my biscuits, I had the meal going, but I was missing that gravy. And that's my southern analogy for the day, guys. This table is needed for this sawmill, guys, especially with the drag back arm. You need somewhere for those boards to land. One more thing, there's always one more thing. I can't never let you guys go, there's always one more thing. Farm Focus now has the hooded Beard logo sweatshirt on their side. I'll put a link down below, you guys can check that out. I got mine in the mail today. It's pretty good quality. I like working with those people. So stick here with me, guys. Put this table to the test here. Biscuits and gravy. Can't believe I said biscuits and gravy. Huh. Alright guys, out here at the concrete pad that we poured about 2 weeks ago. Not so much me than Jeremy, I guess. My buddy up from Karen Creek done the work for us. He left me with some tools here. I got to do one more thing to this concrete pad, then we'll call it done. Let me show you what's going on. But what we're out here doing is filling in this gap right here. As you can see, here's the main footprint of the kiln. This is 10 by 20. We have a 3 by 20, I guess Jeremy calls this an apron. We call it a ramp, but he calls it an apron. So we'll just go ahead and call it an apron since Jeremy did build this thing. And it is separated by a piece of pressure treated, I think that's a 1x6 down in there. But he did rip it off at the top and screwed it down. So I got the screws out, just pop right out as I pull up on it, just like that. But it's going to leave a little bit of a gap right there. You can see that's about maybe a 1/2 inch thick to the top of the pressure treated wood. That pressure treated wood is right down in there. But Jeremy did me a big favor right here. Not only did he pour the pad and do all the work, he also left me with 3 of these. I just knocked one on the ground right there. This is self-leveling sealant. And my goodness, Jeremy also left me a caulking gun to fit these bad boys. I didn't have one big enough for a tube that size. So we're gonna load this up in the gun and fill that in. And that's another reason I left this form on right here, because he told me this stuff will run with you. So hopefully the forms being on here still will keep this stuff from running out the side. So we'll pry this off and fill this in. And like I said in that earlier video, friends, I am not a concrete guy, but I have watched a lot of YouTube videos about it, so that kind of counts for something, hopefully. Hopefully we won't make a mess right here. Famous last words. Alright friends, I finished that up. It took me about 30 minutes. That stuff came out faster than I thought it would. Jeremy warned me about that, but it did surprise me there just a little. With the warm weather here in Tennessee today, we should be okay. Probably walk on this by tomorrow. We had a lot of comments on the concrete video asking about paw prints in the concrete. There you go, guys. There's a few right there, but not too many. Jeremy left those because the ramp don't really matter. There's one right there coming up. Don't walk in that. Goodness. Got lucky right there. But there was a lot of paw prints over here on the kiln side, and he fixed those before he left. Alright friends, back up here at the mill. I need to unload this 2x6 and grab that Osage and put it back up here. See if it still works. Still works, guys. Looky there. Got the Osage on there, ready to go. Tell you what, guys, that is the hardest wood I have ever put on a sawmill. Goodness sakes alive. I sawed a lot of hickory back in the day. I don't saw it much anymore. But hickory is soft compared to this stuff, friends. This is ridiculous right here. That was a brand new resharpened blade I'm using today. We sawed up that pine and then made 3 cuts on this Osage, and it's dull. It's done. I can tell by the sound of it and the speed. It's done. One blade on Osage orange, in my experiences right here, is about 2 or 3 cuts at the most and you're done. Let's pull these off the mill, put them on the outfeed table, and you guessed it, throw some water on them. Stick here with me, guys. This is the best part. Got more saw marks showing on this slab that I like, but at least it's flat. I'm surprised right there. So that'll be okay once we run this through the kiln and take it up to Freddie's shop and have him put it on the CNC table and sand it. You won't see those anyway. Now I mentioned how heavy this is right here.